Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the lab 2. Oh, sorry, I opened the wrong file. Yep. Mm, so today we are going to play around with the Wireshark. If you haven't done lab 1, which is the installation, then you can do it right now. And if you are ready for the lab 2, maybe now you can try to do the task 1 for 10 minutes. So you will have some idea what's going on in the task 1. And then uh, 10 minutes later, I will show you how to do it. So just go through the content and then follow the steps. We have 5 different steps. Follow the instruction, and I will show you how to do it in my computer. Yeah, just let me know if you have any trouble to like such as opening the file or any problem with that. Mm, Okay, seems we have enough people. Maybe we can get it started right now. Uh, so for the task one, let me show you what happening here. We will provide you a trace file. You can try to download this link, and then with this link, you will see some like traffic from a computer to another device, or maybe a router to another device. You can see the MAC address and or the IP address for this one. Then we need to know, like, figure out what is happening in this trace file at first. Like, you can see basically all the packets are the AO 2.11 packets, right? Like under the protocol, you can see almost every single packet is AO 2.11, which means this is a wireless packet. And you can also see some information inside the packets. And if you go through the content under the task one, you will say it's captured by in the monitor mode. Then we need to know like what is really happening in the real world when we capture the packets, capturing this trace file. So that's what's happening. In the task one, how we collect the file, we use a Mac OS PC and running the sniffing mode, maybe with Wireshark or other tools, which can capture all the traffic from the hotspot. Or you can consider this one is a router to another device, such as iPad or PC or mobile phone. So this Mac OS PC can capture all the traffic from the router to another device, which means it could be listening like for the login details or such stuff. And if you are able to unpack, like decrypt the information inside the packet, let's assume this one is a TCP packet and it could be some login details, but unfortunately we are not able to read it, right? If you have some way to do it, but I think this one is a TCP packet, have some IP address or DNS query. Yeah, so if you have some way to decrypt the content for the packet, then you may be able to see some credentials inside. So that's what's happening in the task one. And we have already provided you the trace file that we use the sniffing. And then we come to here. Now we ask you to analyze this trace file, try to understand like what's happening while the signal strengths. Sorry, your place may not have this kind of information. Maybe it's like this. Your computer maybe is like this. And what we need to do is just follow the steps. Like firstly, open it with Wireshark, and then we apply a filter. We only care about the traffic for this SSID from this router. So if you go through the packet, then you will be able to see some information under the info column. The name is SSID equal to conf4336. What you need to do, you need to apply a filter in here. Maybe uh you can try to find where is the name of it under here. For example, you find the SSID is this is this one. Like this one is the source. This is the BSSID. It's different. But let's assume this is the SSID, and then you can apply a filter like this. Right? Just select the SSID and right click, apply as a filter, and select it. And then when you click it, you will have some filter automatically applied, right? But this one is not true because I didn't select the correct content in here. Or you can learn some syntax about the Wireshark, which is WLAN SSID equal to the name of it, which is COMP4336. Then you can see we apply this filter that can help us to filter all the packet that we want. And in the description, actually, it's saying that we need to get the beacons frame, right? We need the beacons frame. You can see in here in the information column, we have a beacon frame in here, but after we apply this filter, we still have some packet that is not beacon frame. For example, this one, probe response, these two. So we need to remove these two as well. So what do we need to do to remove these two? You can see what's the difference between those packets, between the beacon frame and probe response. But first of all, the destination is different. This beacon frame is a broadcast message, which means it will send to this message to the whole network. But this one is sent to a specific device, right? We have two ways to do it. Maybe we only care about the broadcast message, then we try to find the flag for the broadcast message. Or we can also apply a filter just by right click the broadcast message. Just like right click broadcast, apply as a filter. And here we use unselect. So why is unselect? Because we already have a condition in our filter, right? We want to apply additional filter based on this one. So we use unselect, and it will automatically apply some syntax for the column or for the filter. Then you can see every single frame is a beacon frame, right? That's how we apply the filter. So to apply a filter, basically just right click, apply as a filter, and select, not select, and not, or not select, just some combination, right? Just play with it by yourself. And then what's next? Step 4 and 5. Now we want to export the file into a CSV file. Then it's pretty easy, just file, export as CSV. Okay, let me output that. And after you output the CSV file, then you can use Excel, MATLAB, Python, or whatever you want to generate the graph. Let me try to open one of it and give you some idea how to do it. Okay, okay. Just give me one sec. Hmm, okay, so here are the output files. Should be something like this. Oh, sorry, I forgot to apply the column in here. You see, we don't have the steps 2, I remember. Step 3 in here. Apply as a column. It's my bad. So what do we need to do before we apply our export is we need to find out the signal strength and noise level and signal to noise ratio. You just right click, apply as a column. You can see we create a new column and we right click, apply as a column and right click, apply as a column. And you can see we have some extra information for the signal strength or noise level in the table. Then we can export as a CSV file. And yep, now you can see we get the CSV file. So what's next is to create a plot. Maybe just give you some idea how to do it for the signal strength. In here, I just use a very simple version. Maybe in your version, you need to polish a little bit. I just analyze the signal strength in here because first of all, it's a string. We need to convert this one, remove the unit, right? And make it's a digits. Um, so I remember it's in data and text to columns. We need to remove the dBm. We use space, next, no import, no import, finish. So now we only have the digits at this point. And then we change this part to number to make it in the correct format. And maybe no decimal like this. And then we can try to plot the time and the signal strength with a line chart. Not valid. Let me see. Maybe I just copy these two rows into here. So this is the signal strength change over time. And we plot a 2D line. Any recommended? This 2D line should be fine. And we want to use the time as the x-axis. So we need to do some adjustment. Maybe select data. Time is x. Signal. Maybe not this. Use the signal. No. Okay. Let me try it. Try this one again. Insert line. Mm, Just give me some time. Is SNR signal to noise ratio? Yes, you're right. Uh, yeah, if you have any question, you can post it public so everyone can see it. Sorry, my Excel is not working properly right now. Just wait for a bit. But as you can see here in this side, uh, oh, sorry, now you cannot see. So we just want to plot what is the fluctuation of the signal strength in step 5. Like this. And now we just copy the time signal strength to a new table, and then we use text to column to remove the dBm. And then we make this to its number, and with this number we change the decimal to 0, and then we try to analyze this with a chart. So we need to apply the x-axis to the time with the time, but now it's I think it's the amount, right? This is not correct. We need to replace the x-axis right now. But just with this one, you can see the fluctuation at the bottom of it. This part, you should have like some similar outputs in this part. So why do we have better signal strength at the beginning and it become worse and worse, and then it come back again and worse and come back? You can see we are moving back and forth, right? When we do the collection, we are moving away from the laptop. So the router is moving away from the computer. So the signal strength decreased, and it will come back and then move back close to it again. And that's the reason you can see from here to here, it goes back because it moved back close to it again and move away once again. So that's the reason why it dropped, right? And I think at the end, it comes back again. So that's the task 1. You are not only need to plot this graph for the signal strength, but also for the noise level and signal to noise ratio. Just put them together into your report. Then this is the task 1. Just let me know if you have any question regarding to this. When's the assignment coming out? I think this week. Either Thursday or Friday. So that's the first task. You can do it by yourself right now and let me know if you have any trouble. And for the task 2, basically it's the same. For this task, we need to collect our own trace file. So for this file, we need to clear our own traffic, right? And then we just apply the same task in task one. So the steps are the same, but just need to create our own file. Is someone using Mac or Windows right now? Yeah, because they are different. If we are using the same system, then I just show one of it. Otherwise, I need to show both of them. Okay, I see. No problem. So we have Mac and Windows, and I can show them both. And what unit is the time column in? It's second. So in here, uh, this graph is not correct, right? Because the x-axis should be the time. You need to play with this one. I think maybe something wrong with this part. I remove this one. That's still not correct. But yeah, just try to make the x-axis is the time, and then plot something like this. The shape should be similar, but change the x-axis to the time, and then put it in your report, and also write down a commentary. You can see we need to write your observation for the task one, but you already get the idea, just moving around. Yes, in my graph, it's index. It's not correct. You need to apply the time into the graph as well. Hmm. Select the time column for horizontal category. Yeah, I think so. Thanks. But it's okay. Now we get the idea. So now let's try to do the task two. In this task, you may have lots of trouble. So I want you to spend more time in the task two, as we do have lots of trouble at the very beginning. Maybe I'll show you how to do it with Windows at first. Mm, so with the Windows machine, you have some different comparing to Mac OS. Like you need to use the Microsoft Network Monitor to do the capturing instead of Wireshark. You can see at the very beginning, you need to select what is the options, like what is the network interface that you want to do the capturing. Basically, just select the Wi-Fi one, and then you can use the new capture up button. Then you press the stop button, and you can see some traffic in the window here, right? And it will contain some like Wi-Fi information such as BSSID or signal strength, right? You can see ISSI. This is signal strength. But before you do this, just remember follow the instruction in task two. You need to set your mobile phone as the hotspot, and then try to change the name of hotspot and connect to it. Then you can run this software and do the capturing. And if it's running, then you bring your mobile phone away from your computer. Then you come back. So maybe we can observe some different ISSI at this time. but now I'm just sitting here, so it should be very constant. Let me try to save it. So I press the stop button here, and then I use the file, just click the file and save the file. And then, okay, so I go back to the lab 2 and delete the filter, apply the trace file I have used. We can see we have some packets in here and have some signal strength information inside. And for Windows, it's pretty normal that we cannot capture the noise level and signal to noise ratio. So for Windows machine, it's okay if you can only get the signal strength. Just proceed with this one. We have already done everything, and then we just export to a CSV, and then demo to, to a CSV. Then we open this one, and we open. Let me find the file. What's the name again? I don't remember. Let me just save it again. Lab 2 demo 2 CSV. Okay, so should be something like this. We only have the signal strength, so we just apply the same stuff. In the data, we just remove the dBm. Yeah, and we can just plot. Yeah, now you can see it's quite stable. It's like between 37 to 41, right? The signal strength. So that's how we do this one. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake at this place because I didn't apply the filter, right? In here, we need to apply a filter at first. So what's the filter should we use? We need to figure out that because some of the packet doesn't even have the signal strength, right? You can have a look of the um, difference between them. Usually, the destination equal to this IP address will have the signal strength, right? This is because it's from outside to our computer. And this one is from our computer to outside. So we have no information about the signal strength because we are the sender. This one, we are receiver, so we can get it. So maybe we apply as a filter here. Because in Windows, we are not able to see the SSID information through this way. We can have a check. We have the SSI, but there is no SSID. So SSID filter will not work here. So we use the IP address as a filter. Is that okay? For the Windows one. For the task one, you can just apply any filter you want as long as it's working. Okay, so now we try to do it with Mac. Just give me a few minutes. I need to set up my Mac to be ready. So with the Mac, we are using the system to do the sniffing. It's a bit difference between the Mac and Windows, just like the graph I showed before. Uh, shoot, that's the graph. Yeah, it's in here. So for the Mac, it's more like this, but with the Windows, actually we are like this. This is Windows, Windows. It's like this. For the Windows machine, we can only capture the traffic from your own machine to the router. But for the Mac, it's like at the top, we can capture any traffic from the router to the any other device, just except yourself, because in this kind of mode, you are running sniffing mode under the monitor mode for your computer, then you will be disconnected from any connection. So when doing the sniffing, you will not be able to visit the internet, but you will be able to capture all the traffic in this frequency. And for Windows, we just need to connect to the router and like play a video or play some live music. Then you can see the traffic from your computer to the outside. So if you are using your Mac, you can get your iPad or get other device ready. You need to have three devices at this point. You need to have an iPad or another PC or another mobile phone, and use one of your mobile phone to connect it to it. Use one of your mobile phone to create a hotspot and use another device to connect to it. Then we can run the sniffing mode. Just give me a few minutes to connect to Zoom. You can post the question if you have. I'm setting up my Mac. Okay, I will share my, yeah, can you still hear me? I will share my screen. Mm, Like one shot. Yeah, so you can hear me, right? Okay, that's great. So with Mac, it's a bit different. For example, if we are trying to use Wireshark to do the capturing, you can enter the options here. You can see lots of network interface, and like if you want to capture, you can try to do the capture like this. You can see a lot of traffic flow, right? But actually, this one is not the correct packet that we want to get. If you go through the content into a random packet, you can see there's no Wi-Fi information, only the TCP, right? We know it's a wire packet, but no information other than this. So we are not going to use Wireshark with our own Mac. We are going to use the system tools of Mac. But what I did is to click this button. You can see a list of this one, right? A list of Wi-Fi. But if you press your option button as well and click it again, We can see more information in here. So how did I how did I do with this? Is press the option button. Press the option button. You can see this kind of information. And then you can not only see the information, but also this button, Open Wireless Diagnostics, right? If we click this one, then you can find the window button here with this file. Then we use the sniffer. You can consider this one is the like another Wireshark. And then it will ask you for the channel and the width. So what is the channel and the width? If you press this button again, you can see the channel is 149. So our iPhone is running its hotspot in this channel, right? 149. And the width is 80 MHz. So that's the correct setting. Then we can press the start button here to get started. But if I click the start button, I will be disconnected. So I'm not going to click it because it will enter in the monitor mode and start listening from my uh, from the Mac machine, and it will save the file into this folder. So let's say we have already pressed the start button and press the stop button. Then now we can jump back to the Wireshark and try to open the file, like open the file. So that's the file I have captured before. You say it's cut in the middle. That's okay. But with this packet, you can see we get a lot of AO 2.11 packets right now. And with the radio information, you can clearly see there are some signal strengths we apply as a column, and some noise level apply as a column, and the signal to noise ratio apply as a column as well. We can see this kind of information that we need. And another task is to find out what is the correct source from your Mac machine. If you press the option button again, just press the option button and click the icon of Wi-Fi. You will see your BSS ID is this one, right? 47449-2F in my side. So you just go through all the address in here and try to find out that which one is your mobile device, which is the hotspot. But in here, I didn't capture any packet from it because I didn't create any traffic from my mobile hotspot. So that could be all the noisy information because we are running in the sniffing mode, which means we are capturing all the packets like with the same channel. Maybe we have lots of Wi-Fi around us. They are sending packet and receiving packets, and it's not from your own router. It's from another one's router. So that's not the packet we want. We need to create some traffic from our mobile phone to another device so we can capture them. So in this place, I don't have any packets, but let's say this one is my mobile phone. So what should I do? For example, this MAC address is completely the same as my MAC address. The BSS ID should be the same. Let's assume the BSS ID is this one right now. They're the same. So we just right click apply as a filter. Select it, and then we can see all the traffic from this router to the outside. Is that okay? So that's how we apply the filter. Because sometimes we don't have the SSID in the information column. Sometimes you may find it, but I think depends on the device. Some device, such as our mobile phone, usually will not contain the SSID information, so we cannot get it. Instead, we are using the source IP or source address to do the filtering. So I just repeat this one again because it's a little bit complicated. So first of all, we create a hotspot, right? Then maybe we can connect it to it, and we can see the information in here by pressing the option button next to your command button. And you can see the channel, BSS ID, and etc. And we need to use it later. Then we go to the wireless diagnostics. We go to here, and you may not see the sniffer at the very beginning. You will see this window, and then we click the button in here to run the sniffer. Run the sniffer, right? Run the sniffer, then we just select the correct channel and select the correct width, the bandwidth of it. Then before we getting started, you need to use another device to connect to your mobile phone, which is the router or hotspot. You need to have another device because we want to create some traffic. Let's say you have an iPad, you just use your iPad to connect to your mobile phone hotspot, then they should be in the same channel. And after you connect it to it, you can play a video or play some music online. Then you press the start button and it will start running. And after like, let's say 1 minute, you can move away with your mobile phone and try to change the signal strength. And then you press the stop button. Then you go back to the Wireshark in here and just open the file. Let's open the file. Usually it's in this folder, VARTMP. You can find the file. For example, I've created yesterday. It's this file. Usually it will contain the time of it. So you just click and open. Then you come to here. And then we just do the task one again. But the filter this time is a bit different. The filter, we usually use the address, the source address to apply the filter. So make sure this address is the same one of this one. The BSS ID should be the same. So that's the whole process of how we collect it. Is that okay? So for the Mac, it's a bit complicated, right? But with the Mac have like more powerful on these tools. It can capture all the traffic from not only your computer, but also other device. So the Mac is like this. You are running in your Mac OS, then you need to create a hotspot, connect it with another device. That's what's happening. But for the Windows, it's more straightforward, Windows and router, and we will capture all the packets in the Windows side. But the Windows will not have the ability to capture all these packets from other device with this router. So that's the difference. Okay, so now you can try to do this one by yourself and let me know if you have any trouble. And you can do the submission by today. I will stay here until the end. If you like want to do another thing, you feel free to go at any time. And the recording will be uploaded by today. So if you missed anything, you can have a check of the recording. I think now I can stop recording. So if you want to share your screen and share your question, then you can do it. Otherwise, you can post it in the ad forum, or just if something related to your personal stuff, you can send an email to me. Okay, I will stop recording right now.